December 8, 2024 will be etched in Syrian history. After 13 years of brutal civil war, the Assad regime has fallen. Syrian rebels, a diverse coalition united in their opposition to Bashar al-Assad, seized control of the capital city, Damascus. This victory marks the end of an era. It signals the beginning of a new chapter for Syria, one filled with hope and uncertainty. The rebels, led by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or HTS, entered Damascus after weeks of fierce fighting. HTS, once affiliated with al-Qaeda, has undergone a transformation under its leader, Abu Muhammad al-Jawlani. Al-Jawlani has positioned himself as a moderate leader, seeking to distance HTS from its extremist past. His leadership has been instrumental in uniting the disparate rebel factions and securing this victory. The fate of Bashar al-Assad remains unknown. Reports suggest he fled Damascus as the rebels closed in. Russia confirmed his departure from Syria, marking a significant blow to the regime. Assad's whereabouts are a subject of intense speculation. It remains to be seen whether he will face justice for the atrocities committed under his rule. With the fall of the Assad regime, Syria enters uncharted territory. The future of the country hangs in the balance. The international community watches closely, hoping for a peaceful transition to a new era of democracy and stability in Syria. The fall of Assad signals a potential new dawn for Syria. However, the road ahead is fraught with challenges. The transition to a post-Assad Syria will be complex and demanding. The Syrian people, who have endured unimaginable suffering, yearn for peace and stability. Hadi al-Barra, a prominent opposition figure and president of the Syrian National Coalition, has outlined a roadmap for the transition. He proposes drafting a new constitution within 6 months, followed by a referendum and democratic elections. This plan, while ambitious, offers a glimmer of hope for a more inclusive and democratic Syria. Civil society groups, too, are playing a crucial role in shaping the post-Assad era. Hind Kabawat, a prominent activist and former member of the Syrian Negotiation Council, stresses the importance of inclusivity and reconciliation. She advocates for a non-sectarian government that represents all Syrians, regardless of their ethnicity or religion. The success of the transition hinges on several factors. First and foremost is the need for unity among the Syrian people. After years of conflict, healing the wounds of the past and fostering reconciliation will be paramount. The international community must also play a supportive role, providing humanitarian aid, facilitating dialogue, and ensuring a stable transition. The fall of the Assad regime has elicited mixed reactions from the international community. Western powers, long critical of Assad's brutal rule, welcomed his departure. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer hailed it as a victory for the Syrian people. He called for a peaceful political solution and stressed the importance of protecting civilians. Israel, which shares a border with Syria, reacted cautiously. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu described it as a historic day, citing the potential for weakening Iran's influence in the region. However, he also expressed security concerns, ordering the Israeli military to reinforce its presence on the border. The U.S., while acknowledging Assad's departure, remains cautious. President-elect Donald Trump reiterated the U.S. commitment to combating ISIS in Syria. The Pentagon confirmed the continued presence of U.S. troops in eastern Syria to prevent a resurgence of the terrorist group. Regional powers, too, are closely watching the unfolding events in Syria. Qatar, a staunch supporter of the Syrian opposition, called for dialogue among all Syrian parties to ensure an inclusive transition. Other Arab states have expressed similar sentiments, emphasizing the need for stability and a political solution in Syria. The road ahead for Syria is fraught with challenges. The country is in ruins, its infrastructure decimated by years of war. Millions of Syrians are displaced, both internally and externally, seeking refuge from the violence. Rebuilding Syria and healing the wounds of conflict will be a monumental task, requiring a concerted effort from the Syrian people and the international community. One of the most pressing challenges is the security situation. While the fall of Assad marks a significant turning point, the threat from extremist groups like ISIS remains. The presence of various armed groups within Syria also poses a challenge to stability. Disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration of former combatants will be crucial for long-term peace. Another significant challenge is the humanitarian crisis. Millions of Syrians are in dire need of food, water, shelter, and medical care. The international community must step up its efforts to provide humanitarian assistance to those affected by the conflict. Rebuilding Syria's shattered infrastructure and economy will require sustained international support. The fall of the Assad regime presents a historic opportunity for a new beginning in Syria. However, the road to peace and stability will be long and arduous. The Syrian people, who have shown remarkable resilience throughout the conflict, deserve a future free from violence and oppression. It is incumbent upon the international community to stand with them as they embark on this challenging journey.